Hello, friends, and welcome to Learn, Do, Become Radio. I'm April Perry, and today we're talking about what an optimal Command Central brings to your life. I am so excited about recording this because I drew a picture, and I'm going to describe to you what's in the picture, but let me tell you a little bit about the background, and then we'll dive in. But if you're new here at Learn, Do, Become, we help people who are drowning in the details of life to create simple systems so they can do what matters most. So if you're feeling overwhelmed and you don't want to feel overwhelmed anymore, we're going to show you how to do that. So I sat down the other day and I was just drawing little pictures, little sketch to explain what I want each one of our community members to experience as a result of building a STEP Command Central. So I think of a Command Central as the tools and resources that could be digital or paper or, boxes or cubbies or things like that, that organize all of the things like emails and projects and papers and tasks and goals and reminders and help you be able to take all those projects and things that you want to do and put them in a system that helps organize your mind. And when I talk about STEP, that stands for Steps to Everyday Productivity. That's our signature program with tens of thousands of people who are members, and we've been teaching this for a long time here at Learn to Become. So as I was drawing this little image that had all these little pictures, I want to acknowledge that my life still has challenges. I don't have, every day isn't super easy. There are things that I'm navigating just like you are. But the things I'm going to describe today are mostly my reality now. And I almost feel guilty saying that. But as I've been talking to one of my coaches, I recognized I need to own my happiness and not feel ashamed because of it. I think I've been trying to hide my happiness a lot because I'm like, well, I know not everyone is as happy as I am. So maybe I should act less happy so people don't feel bad. And I know that probably sounds weird, or maybe you get it. But one of my big breakthroughs this year has been to own my happiness and recognize that it's a gift to be happy. And then there's a lot of good things I can do for other people because I'm happy. So I'm going to walk through and show you what a Command Central can do for you. I genuinely want you to have all of these things in your life because your quality of life is going to be better. You're going to have less stress. You're going to feel amazing. And you're going to have more resources and capacity to serve and help the world. And that's who I've noticed we gather here at Learn, Do, Become is people who have amazing hearts and care about helping others. They care about making a difference. They care about alleviating suffering. They don't want people to be out there struggling if there's something that they can do to make it better. So that's what we're talking about today. Now, I put BCC before my Command Central. I had some of these things I'm about to describe to you, but I mostly felt stressed and out of control. I remember one day I was just sitting in a meeting and my shoulders were so tense. And I remember thinking, I'm just always going to be tense. I don't know how to calm down. But now, because I learned how to create and use a system that supports all the details of my life, my mind is calm. I feel present. I'm able to actually do the things that I'm excited about. And I know it probably seems like I have some obsession with Command Centrals. People who are listening to the podcast are like, can you just stop talking about Command Centrals? Or maybe you like talking about Command Centrals because you want one, and I hope you do. But I think my real obsession, if I have an obsession, is helping others create the calm, organized life they're searching for. Now, you can come to our show notes page to see the picture, and it's just a piece of notebook paper, and I just used my little blue pen from my planner, and I drew it on notebook paper, and I took a picture, okay? So that's what I have for you. I might make it cute with markers at some point, but this is how I started, and we're all about just progress and getting things done, right? Okay, so I'm going to explain what they are, what each sketch is, and then at least if you're listening right now, you can kind of get a visual picture of it, and then if you want to come see it, you can. But there's 12 little pictures, and the thing is, our brains think in pictures. There's a book by Nancy Duarte called Resonate, and she explains that our brains think in pictures, and so if you put a bunch of words up, people have to read it, and then their brain has to translate it into pictures. Now, you might think, well, I'm the exception. I don't work like that. Okay, and that's fine. But from what I've read, from what Nancy says, most people think in pictures. So by creating these little images, my hope is that you'll be able to feel pretty excited about it. You might even want to print out a copy and say, this is what I want for my life, or you might want to make your own. But I'm just going to go through and explain the 12 pictures and what they represent. And then I'm hopeful that as you hear these 12 different things, you're going to think, well, yeah, I want that. I definitely want that for my life. And this will give you that inspiration to do the work that needs to be done in order to get them. But the work's not that hard, okay? Okay, picture number 1 is a sketch of someone resting on a pillow, and this represents a calm mind that can rest, leading to a healthier body. There are so many people who toss and turn at night because little tasks and projects and ideas and worries come into their minds. And when you can actually rest because everything that matters is safely managed by your Command Central, you just get better sleep, and that affects everything in your life. Picture number 2 is a sketch of a little sun. That represents a strong spiritual connection. I have received countless emails over the years from people who say that now that their mind is calm, they're more open to hearing what they refer to as either God or their intuition or their higher power. When you think about it, stillness is at a premium right now. And then when you're not thinking about what you need to buy at the store or what appointment you need to make today or what project you totally forgot to do, it's like your mind is ready and waiting to be inspired. And then you can fill it with music or quotes or ideas that will strengthen your spirit. Number 3 is a sketch of a checklist, calendar, and cell phone receiving messages. And these just represent, the schedule and tasks and workload that feels doable. This one is huge because it's, quote, common knowledge that the to-do list never ends and that life will always feel overwhelming. But what if the to-do list did end? And what if when you looked at your list and expectations for the day, you thought, oh, yep, I can do this and I have plenty of time to rest and replenish and I can handle anything else that comes up? Would that be a miracle for you? Regardless of what's happening around you or who's trying to make you work like a crazy person, if you build an optimal Command Central, you'll know how to respond, renegotiate, adjust, and accomplish the things that matter most. Picture number 4 is a stick figure jumping, and that represents the process of waking up excited, feeling confident and capable in living life purposefully. Before my Command Central, I felt like I was essentially paying interest every day. Okay, so I never got to the principal. And I mean, if you haven't purchased something like a house or, purchased something that, you had to pay interest on, essentially the principal is the cost of the actual item. And then the interest is what you're paying for the privilege of borrowing money. So I felt like that with my time. I'm just paying interest. I'm never actually owning anything. I'm just paying interest all the time. But once I built my Command Central, it felt like 90% of my efforts were paying down the principal. So projects started getting done. I felt an amazing sense of progress. And then the little things that used to distract me were suddenly manageable. That's what changed my life. And that's why I've been teaching this process for nearly 15 years. We just had our 4th child when I learned how to do this. And so I'm managing 4 children. We were heavily involved in the community and our church. The economy was terrible. It was like 2008. So we were trying to figure out things with jobs and employment and starting a business. Like it was hard working from home. I didn't have a good budget. Like Eric and I were like, what are we doing? I mean, it was challenging. But because I learned how to build this Command Central, I was able to start doing things and start waking up excited and more confident and capable. 5th is a sketch of a house, which represents a clean, organized, happy home with systems to keep everything running smoothly. Now, I read a book early in my marriage about how housework is one of the leading causes of arguments in a family. And I get it, because when you have no clean socks and the sink is full of dirty dishes and you can't have guests over and you're waking up to piles of junk and there are bugs and dirt and dust, etc. all over the place, it's really hard to feel calm or romantic or optimistic. And I used to spend a ton of time, quote, cleaning because I didn't know what I was doing. I was mostly moving piles in circles and putting out fires and looking for things. And that wastes a ton of time. And it doesn't usually feel really good doing those kinds of things. But if you can actually create systems and get the house under control, and that's working together as a family, ideally, as you do it, the whole mood of the home changes, and that becomes that game changer you're looking for. Number 6 is a sketch of a heart. And this represents healthy relationships that fuel the heart and make life joyful. If you've been with us for a while here at Learn to Become, you hopefully know that the whole reason that we talk about organizing and living our best life is because we want you to have amazing relationships. We believe that our experiences with our families and friends are central to the purpose of life. So I love asking, how are we creating strong families? How are we helping others? How are we building relationships that last? So many people miss out on the power of connection because the stresses of life feel too overwhelming. And I know that because I've lived that. But the Command Central changes that. All right, number 7. It's a sketch of a magnifying glass, which represents the ability to focus on what really matters. If our lives are full of stuff that we think we might want to read, use, think about, or look at sometime in the future, we will spend the majority of our time managing that stuff. But if our lives are free of excess and free of clutter, and if we're deliberate about where our time and energy is going, we will naturally have the ability to focus on what really matters. 8 is a sketch of a piggy bank, and that represents systems of safety and growth for managing our finances. Now, Eric and I are gratefully debt-free and in a good financial position at this point. We've worked really hard to get here. But we've had some very tough financial times, and money worries were really heavy on our minds for a lot of years. I didn't know that my Command Central would help with this, but because I got my mind organized, I could spend money wisely. I never had to rebuy something we already had because I knew where things were. I remembered to do things like call the insurance company if they overcharged us. And I was able to work alongside Eric to build a business and make investment decisions. There is so much money that slips through the cracks when life is disorganized, but a Command Central will change that. It helps you be the steward over your finances and get out of that stress that I know can weigh us down. Number 9 is a sketch of a little thought cloud that has an earth in it, and that represents the ability to think bigger and impact the world. We believe that life isn't about us, and we believe that when we're given energy and resources, it's our responsibility to use them wisely to make life better for other people. As Eric and I are dreaming about the future right now, for example, we want to help create prosperity in our country and around the world. I don't know if you've read The Prosperity Paradox by Clayton Christensen, but oh my goodness, that book is amazing. And I think of it every single day. In fact, it's on my vision board. I want to help do this, create prosperity. He talks about how you don't just want to throw money into developing countries, for example. You want to help them be able to create businesses that then pull the need for the resources. So how you could help create companies where then they can grow their team, grow their employees, and then they have the money and resources to need roads or, water treatment or all these things. Anyway, so good. He's one of the best minds ever. And that book, Prosperity Paradox, so good. Okay, I kind of deviated from my list for a minute, but I had to tell you about that book because it's so good. Okay, so yes, we want to help create prosperity. We want to work closely with nonprofit organizations, and we want to connect with others who have similar hearts. And we're already starting to do that right now, which feels amazing because when you start looking for it, you see so many people out there who are serving and giving and doing amazing things. I mean, this podcast isn't all about that right now, but being able to think about how we can help others, it feels so meaningful, and it fills my heart so much. Because if just getting the mail processed and finding a clean shirt feels like a huge chore, there's no way our minds can open up to bigger projects. And yes, it does feel kind of scary to step into the unknown and try to do something, big. But it feels so great to know that your simple efforts and my simple efforts can make a difference for others. Number 10 is a sketch of a paint palette and a music note, and this represents space for creativity. I hear from a lot of creatives who say that they don't want to be organized because they prefer to fly by the seat of their pants. Okay, I hear that all the time. I like to fly by the seat of my pants. And maybe as I'm saying this, you're like, that is me, April. Okay, but guess what? When you have a clear, organized mind and clear, organized spaces, you have time and energy to compose music or paint pictures or write that novel or start that business or come up with something that is going to make the world a happier place. I receive so many emails from people who say, I'm finally writing music again, or I just launched a podcast, or I just started this new business. I believe that expressing our creativity is a gift, and I hope that you will build your Command Central so you can actually do that on a regular basis. Number 11 is a sketch of an open book, which represents an increased desire to learn and grow. Before my Command Central, I didn't want to go to any more classes or learn anything else because my brain felt full. But our minds are kind of like a vacuum. So when it's stuffed and full of dirt and dust, of course it can't pick up anything else. But the Command Central essentially empties the vacuum, cleans out the hoses. You can shake out the filters so that you have space and excitement when it comes to learning. And then the final one, number 12, is a sketch of a person driving. And this idea came from our community. This represents being in the driver's seat of your life. No one likes being bossed around and forced to do things that they don't want to do. We like being able to make our own decisions and feel in control of each day, right? When we lack organization, we're constantly at the mercy of the day, and we jump around responding to calendar alerts and reminders and emails and knocks at the door, and we wonder why we never feel peaceful. I believe that you are the best driver for your life. And then when you build a Command Central, you actually can be. So I hope that this sketch, if you come look at it, come check out the show notes page, and these ideas that we've shared here on the podcast have given you some hope today. This matters so much to me because every time I see someone suffering or struggling, I know there are ways to make improvements that aren't as hard or impossible as they might seem. It's just that no one ever teaches us this kind of stuff. But I want to share this experience one of our Step Mastery members posted in the Facebook group. She said, I noticed my dishwasher wasn't getting the dishes clean after even a couple of runs. Today, I noticed that there also was water sitting in the bottom of it. Instead of calling a repair company, I got on YouTube and figured out how to fix it myself. I had no idea there was a microfilter that should have been cleaned every month. It was covered in some sort of deposits, so I cleaned the filter and I ran a cycle to clean the dishwasher, and it seems to have worked. I'll have to add cleaning the dishwasher and washing machine to my monthly routines. No service call and repair bill to pay. Those are small wins. I'm hoping bigger ones will come as I work through the steps. I printed out the page that has the advantages of having an optimal Command Central. That's the pictures I just described. And I put it on my bulletin board right in front of me for motivation. Thanks for giving us the tools to get moving. I think you also said if you get stuck, just keep moving ahead. Looking forward to a calm mind, creativity, and carrying out the mission that was placed on my heart to help others. Okay, that brings me to tears. I love it so much. Because sometimes you think oh, it's just a dishwasher. No, it's not just a dishwasher. This is someone now seeing that they have the capacity to handle little things and they can maintain routines that can prevent stuff from happening, and how they can start using just these little tiny steps to make a big difference and to do the work that's been placed in their heart. This is the life-changing stuff. This is why I'm here. Because I care about you being able to do the things that you were created to do. And I don't believe we were created to be overwhelmed and sit in piles of stuff and think that we're failures. So, okay. So, in closing, I invite you to think about your life. Come look at these pictures and ask yourself which of these outcomes you don't want. And if you find that you want all of them, then please, please, please build your Command Central. And you can do that through our STEP program. You can learn more about that at learndobecome.com/STEP program. Or you can watch all our YouTube videos and listen to all our podcasts and engage with the free resources we have and kind of piece things together a little at a time. But the point is that this is possible for all of us. And I want you to feel that thrill that life has to offer you. All right. Have an amazing day. Have a great week. I'm so glad you're here. And we'll see you soon at learndobecome.com.